Welcome to Graya Overload. I'm Anthony, and AMD surprised me today by announcing their AMD Ryzen Mobile processors with Radeon graphics. I'm pretty excited about this because we might now have competition also in the mobile space. AMD announced two processors today, the Ryzen 5 2500U and then the top of the line Ryzen 7 2700U. So they both have 4 cores and 8 threads, and the 2500U, the Ryzen 5 2500U, that one is a base clock of 2 gigahertz with a turbo clock of 3.6 gigahertz. So quite a high turbo clock on a mobile part. It is 15 watts, and you can configure that to between 12 and 25 watts. So if somebody has better cooling, that they can do and put a little bit more power to the chip. This is a Vega 8 processor, so it's got 8 graphic units on it, and that's clocked at 1100 megahertz. So it might be a pretty powerful product. I really want to get my hands on one of these processors or devices, mobile devices, to see what it can actually achieve as well. But once we jump up to the Ryzen 7, and this is where it gets really interesting, because the base clock is 2.2 gigahertz on 4 cores and 8 threads, but it goes all the way up to 3.8 gigahertz. So they really have a big range there, and a very high-end frequency for, probably on one core that you're really hitting all that frequency. But it's 15 watts TDP as well, so they're both the same there. Configurable TDP is still 12 to 25 watts, so if you have some great cooling, you can maybe push a little bit more there. But it has a Vega 10 graphics processor, and so that's going to be about, I believe, 10 graphical units on there, and it's going to be clocked at 1300 megahertz. And there's some really cool stuff that they're doing with this. As I go through some of the slides here that AMD released on their blog post, you can see that, if you look at Cinebench here, it loses out to Intel stuff in the single thread. It just does. And AMD made a huge leap to get back into the game. They just didn't beat Intel this round in single threading performance. But when you hop over, as you can see here, to the N threads, of course, they have the one processor there, the i7-75, which is only a dual core 4 thread processor. But then the other ones, the new one, that's 4 cores 8 threads. But it seems like they're multi-threading, or they're withstanding a higher clock speed, and that's really helping out for the Cinebench run, because it really has a high result. This is why I'm really curious on how well this runs, and I really want to get a machine to be able to see these benchmarks in person, because I didn't even first believe this the first time I looked at it. I had to reread it a couple times, because it is, as you can see here, it's a big improvement, especially if you're doing multi-threading stuff. And then when you look at this next slide, the Elite Performance in TimeSpy, you look at some of the TimeSpy benchmarks here. They're comparing it to the 2700U is compared to the GeForce 950M, so by NVIDIA, plus an i7-7500U, and it's still beating it a little bit there. So that's very impressive. This is starting to look like, hey, you can play some nice basic games on here, and it'll take care of it quite well, give you enough frame rate there. I was looking at some frame rate stuff that they had announced. I don't have that a slide here, but it looked pretty reasonable for most of the stuff. Oh, that was in one of their videos on AMD, I believe, that I was watching. So that does very well there. I recommend go check out those videos from AMD on YouTube there. They're very, very good at kind of going through some of the stuff that they are seeing in their test labs that they had. But battery life target up to 2x improvement over their old AMD FX 9800P. So that's actually great improvement there. VP9 playback, as you see, is basically doubled up to about 9.2 hours. 1080p H286 playback, that's 12.2 here according to what AMD says. And Mobile Mark 14 is about 13.5. And so you can see it's beating the old 9800P by a lot. AMD seems like they've put a lot of work there as well, especially with Vega having some of those features to improve it as well. But then when you compare the Ryzen 7 2700U versus the i7 8550U, and you can kind of see AMD's using that, again, the hexagon to kind of say, like, here's where we're at and here's where our processor is. And you see they're kind of balancing everything. They're trying to have that balance across the whole entire system, and I really like that. I really would like to see this, especially in like a Surface type device. You know, that screen, you maybe configure it down to maybe 12 watts if you need to. You know, a lot of the thin and lights. This is new possibilities. I haven't seen really, I don't think AMD has even been in this place to be able to put something in, something so thin and light, and have a great experience, you know, at 1080p 4K or something like that. You know, you wouldn't play games at 4K, but you could be able to drive that nice 4K screen behind it for all your productivity work, etc. I'm really excited about this. I really, really want to get my hands on one so I can test it out, because if it's anywhere close to what they're telling us, this is going to be something that it's going to increase competition even more, and I can't wait to see what Intel has in store then after this, and what next generation AMD has as well to keep this going. But currently on the market, as soon as these comes out, they say that they're going to be out here this holiday season with more coming into the new year as well. And this is impressive. I'm impressed. If this is it, 15 watts, great graphics, great multi-threading, high clock speeds on the base clocks. Okay, let's see what this thing can do. This might be something where it replaces my Surface with a different type of device that I can maybe do some more stuff on it if I wanted to, if I want to take it and be able to do some more heavy lifting on that mobile device. But I'm pretty impressed overall. I encourage you guys to go check out some of the stuff, and you know what, take a look at these devices that come out. If there's something that, you know, they compete well and they're priced right, I'd say that this is a great option for people that are looking. But until I at least get a device in hand, or somebody else does, and I can see those results, keep your eyes open for them and put the machine to the test. Let's see what it can do. So with that, I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for stopping by Graya Overload. Don't forget to subscribe and press the like button as well. And I want to thank you for helping grow the channel and continue to build it up. It's been a great experience here, and great excitement here from you guys helping me out and grow this channel as well. So until next time, thank you for watching. Thanks for watching Graya Overload. If you like this content, be sure to subscribe.